Unearthed Horrors of History, where history meets horror. In the winter of 1958, a teenage couple went on a killing spree that left 11 people dead and a nation horrified. They were young, in love, and utterly ruthless. This is the story of Charles Starkweather and Caril-Fugate, America's first modern-day killer couple. Charles Starkweather was born in 1938 in Lincoln, Nebraska. Growing up, he was bullied for being poor, for his bow legs, and for a speech impediment that made him stand out from other kids. School was miserable. Teachers saw him as slow, classmates saw him as an easy target. Over time, Charles grew bitter and resentful, developing a nihilistic worldview. He came to believe that life was meaningless and that society's rules didn't matter. Discovering James Dean changed everything. That rebel image wasn't just a role, it was his way to survive. Starkweather styled himself after Dean, slicking back his hair, wearing leather jackets, and adopting that brooding outsider persona. By 1956, at 18, he met 13-year-old Caril-Fugate, and the two became inseparable. To him, she was the one person who didn't judge, someone who made him feel seen in a world he hated. On December 1st, 1957, Starkweather committed his first murder. He went to a Lincoln gas station to buy Caril a gift, but the attendant, Robert Colvert, refused him credit. Humiliated and furious, Charles returned later that night with a shotgun. He robbed the station, kidnapped Colvert, and shot him dead. That senseless act marked the beginning of one of the bloodiest killing sprees in American history. Just weeks later, on January 21st, 1958, Charles went to Caril's home. Her mother and stepfather were furious about the relationship and told him to stay away. Enraged, Starkweather pulled out his gun, killing both adults and then strangling Caril's 2.5-year-old half-sister. For nearly a week, the couple stayed inside the house, turning away visitors with lies, saying everyone was sick or out of town, while the bodies lay hidden inside. When neighbors grew suspicious, the two fled Lincoln and began a multi-state killing spree. On January 27th, they murdered 3 more people, a farmer and 2 teenagers. On January 28th, they killed a wealthy Lincoln businessman, C. Lauer Ward, along with his wife and their maid. And on January 29th, they murdered a traveling shoe salesman who had stopped to help them. Moments later, police spotted their stolen car, sparking a high-speed chase across Wyoming. The rampage ended when Starkweather finally surrendered after crashing his vehicle. In 1958, Charles Starkweather was convicted of murder and sentenced to death. On June 25, 1959, at only 20 years old, he was executed in Nebraska's electric chair. Caril-Fugate was sentenced to life in prison but was paroled in 1976, after serving 17 years. Inspired by James Dean, Charles saw himself as an anti-hero, but his legacy is one of senseless violence. The Starkweather killings shocked America. A story of young love turned monstrous, fueled by rage, rebellion, and despair. 11 innocent people lost their lives because one young man decided the world no longer mattered. This has been Unearthed Horrors of History, where history meets horror. If you've got a case or story you'd like me to cover, send it to casefilestruecrime@yahoo.com. Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you love unraveling history's darkest legends, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more chilling stories.